Chief, for being here today. And I also want to thank you for the prompt response to my concern raised at our last meeting regarding the tribal stewardship contracts out in Oregon. And there was a prompt reaching out, and we very much appreciate that. Also, I want to give a shout out to Merv George for his work. It's been excellent, and we're very appreciative of his work and yours in putting together the memorandum of understanding on allowing private parties to suppress fires on federal land in Oregon. That is hugely important given the checkerboard nature, which you're all too familiar with, of that land. And so perhaps a comment of why you supported the MOU that allows private parties to go on federal land and put out fires?
So one of the things that we want to do is bring the community into the decision space on some of the things that's taking place. No one cares about the community better than the people that live in those communities. And so bringing them to the table, and not just to get their opinion, but also giving them decision space, it's the right thing to do, and it's the necessary thing to do. And what we're finding by bringing the community into discussion is that we're getting better supported solutions. And that's one of the solutions. You may or may not be familiar with what just happened yesterday in the Bend area, having a tentative agreement on the homeless issue there. And so I would say that, just having a lot of different entities engaged in solutions and discovering solutions has been really a win-win for everyone.
Well, we hope for that outcome in and around Bend for sure. It's been a long time coming, but yay. Let's talk about the amount that people are being paid right now to fight fires. And one of the situations that's occurred is that the people actually that are contracting have had pay increases imposed upon them for $10 an hour, I think, for those that are out fighting fire. But that $10 did not extend to the folks who had been there longer. And as a result, what we have are people at the lower end of the pay scale getting a $10 an hour increase, but people at the higher level, no. And that's creating incredible difficulties. Now, my understanding is that you folks have been working on this, but there has been no resolution. Can you bring us up to date on how this is?
Are you talking about the pay bump that the firefighters got?
Yes.
So there was actually a $20,000 pay bump for GS-10s and below. And a part of that was to get at the issue around retention that we were having across the agency. And the other thing is that we had to do this because, you could work at a fast food restaurant and make more than a number of our firefighters
Right.
making.
So I don't think I'm talking about federal employees. I think I'm talking about contract employees that are working for people who are contracting to do firefighting.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. I know we're required under the Davis-Bacon Act to pay appropriate wages. So, I'd be happy to follow up with you to get more specifics on that particular issue.
If you would, I would very much appreciate that. Also, there's been an issue raised that has to do with the nature of Forest Service contracting when it comes to going for the cheapest possible bid as opposed to the more quality experienced long-term contracts. And that this is a decision made inside the Forest Service, and the result has been perhaps less money paid out, but perhaps not the quality of the project being done that all of us want. Can you talk about that for a moment?
Yeah, you may be talking about, getting the cheapest bid or the best value bid would be another way. And so we've been looking at exploring the best value type contracts because it gives the local contractor an opportunity to win a number of those contracts. And so here again, if I had specifics on specific contracts, I can give you a specific response or answer, and I'd be happy to follow up with you.
No, thank you for that, and we will get you those specific instances of where long-term folks who have been doing the job quite well suddenly are being outbid by people that come in from goodness knows where, and the job that gets done is not what you, I think, or I would want from a quality standpoint. Last question has to do with the success of the categorical exclusion as a device to get us into the woods. What's your comment? What's your thought? Should we be, as the Congressman from California suggested, expanding upon CEs?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I've looked at the NEPA that we use across the country, and about 87% of our NEPA is done through CEs. And that's about 1,134 CEs that we've used as opposed to about 150 EAs and about 7 EISs.
Thank you so much. Yield back.
Gentleman yields, and I'd like to recognize the gentle lady from New Mexico, Ms. Ledger Fernandez.